This 992 GT3 was in immaculate condition until this happened.
Car appears to be totaled.
But now I'm back in Florida at Tavares's unit where I'm going to continue rebuilding the GT3, but finding the parts was far from easy. How far would you go to buy a car that you've always wanted?
Sold on approval.
Well, I went over 4,000 miles to Florida to buy Adam LZ's crashed 911 GT3. Absolutely insane. I then learnt two things. The GT3 had got structural damage. The whole bolt and the whole system is pulled away. And in the US, Porsche won't sell you structural parts.
Structural part, the car needs to be at a Porsche
Accident repair,
certified shop.
okay. So if I wanted to fix this thing, I had no choice but to fly back to the UK. So if you ever wondered what £15,000 worth of 992 GT3 parts look like, well, look no further. And all of this has got to go on the plane with me to Florida. And by taking it over on the plane, we're gonna save on import duty, shipping, and it's also gonna be a little bit more convenient because we'll have the parts straight away when we get there. It's just packing this thing small enough to get it on the plane. I have never heard of this law before, that you're not allowed to buy structural parts from the US Porsche. But it makes no sense that you can buy it from the UK Porsche. Even Kevin's confused. So what's to stop people doing exactly what I'm doing now? Well, this is what it looks like. Wish me luck.
You're never getting on with that. I'm definitely going home with that.
Oh. Here we go. We've got the parts. Let's go see the Porsche. Yes, man, look at So myself and the parts once again made it to Florida. But there's no time to mess around. We've got to get straight to work. And this whole front tub needs replacing just because of these two parts here. This part here has ripped the bolt out. A lot of you guys have mentioned maybe we could fill the hole up with weld and then re-tap it, but because it holds a suspension arm, I just can't see it being trustworthy at all. And by replacing the full thing, which you can see here is all cast aluminium, it's just going to give us a bit better peace of mind. Then we're going to move on to this situation here with the A-pillar. Now, I've never replaced a front tub on a Porsche before, never mind a brand new GT3. But as all the panels are aluminium on the front, or aluminum if you're American, it pretty much uses the same process as what it did on the BMW M5 that we did. I'm using heat and a scraper to scrape off all this seam sealer, which then behind it will reveal all these rivets, which hold the front tub to the other panels. And you can see them here. And not only does it use rivets, it also uses panel bond, and the rivets almost squash the panel bond together. And to get these rivets out, there's no other way but to drill each individual one out, which is exactly what I'm starting to do here. And this proved to be a little bit more difficult than I first thought. These rivets were really tough. And the replacement rivets we got given from Porsche UK were 6.4 millimeters wide. So I can't drill a hole any bigger than that. This is not a 5-minute job. I have been drilling all day. Everybody's left the shop and I'm still drilling. I was on the final rivets, which were inside the tub. But the more I was drilling, the more I was going through drill bits. I think one drill bit lasted me 2 rivets. Give us the goods. So we had to venture out into some American hardware shops. See if there's like some hardcore drill bits, you know, like made out of like granite. We've got to drill through 6 rivets and we've got the full set. And we're back at it. The best thing is that we were supposed to be drilling 6.4mm holes, but all the American drill bits were in imperial measurements, which I have absolutely no idea about. But once I got them all drilled out, I could then heat up the panels, which will split the panel bond. And then myself and Jack started cutting the tub into smaller pieces so it was easier to separate from the rest of the body. We just hoped we was doing this job right. But finally, we got it off.
Yeah.
The Holden victory.
Step 1 is complete, and me and Jack have just absolutely butchered off the tub nicely. Mission successfully passed. And quite clearly the next step is to get the new tub on. We've got to do a bit of cleaning up on the chassis there. And the one thing, the big issue about all of this is the US don't sell you structural parts, the UK do sell you structural parts, but the UK will not tell you how to fit them. But that's why we have Jack.
Wait, I'm supposed to know how to do this?
Normally, at this part of the video, I'd start to mention car vertical, but this time, I wanted to do things a little different. This is Dom and his girlfriend Karen, huge fans of the channel. Dom reached out to me on Instagram to tell me how much they both love the videos. But sadly, after 1 year of battling with cancer, Karen sadly passed away. And heartbreaking for me, Dom said he was saving watching the last GT3 video to watch with Karen in hospital, which she never got to see. So we're about to call Dom now. We're going to FaceTime him and give him a sort of live walk around of the Porsche GT3, being that him and his missus used to watch the videos religiously, so it's the least we can do. Here we go. Hey, Dom!
This has got to be... I'm talking to Matt Armstrong off the TV.
Yeah.
It's the most surreal thing.
It didn't take long to realise how much Karen meant to Dom.
I don't think Karen really loved cars like I did, but I think she just appreciated what I did because I looked after her, so...
Oh no,
yeah,
that's...
like a little bit of respite from just the worst thing to happen, you know?
Now, I'm a huge believer of helping people out who help me. And speaking to Dom makes you realise how short life really is. And the least I could do with help from Car Vertical is give Dom a little something to help. I'm going to send you a couple £1,000 to help with any costs of... No, I want to do it. It's from me, Car Vertical. I want to help with any costs that it's happened with you, just to help you out, and because I know how much it can mean for you. So,
you know, normally I'd be like, I mean, you don't have to do that, but at the moment I'm so grateful because I'm just a guy on my own now.
Thanks so much to Car Vertical for making this happen. I can really tell how much it means for Dom.
Thank you so much for your time.
No worries. No worries. I'll catch you soon, Dom. Thanks for speaking. Yeah, I'm going to need it.
Yeah, mate.
See you later. Bye. Legend. That went well. That felt good. So I want to say a massive thank you to Car Vertical for making things like that happen and also keeping my channel running, as well as all of you guys as well. And if you guys ever want to check a car out using Car Vertical, there is a link in the description box below, and you can use code MATT for discount for any checks on Car Vertical, and it will show you a full breakdown of the history of the car. Let's crack on with the GT3.
Look who it is.
Jackson organised some tea bags. When things get difficult, you call your dad in. I flew him from the UK to America to see the GT3 for the first time and help with the build. And also Hannah arrived with some parts.
It's like Christmas.
I just hope all the parts made it in one piece. £2,000. It made it. Yes! Looking good. The full team has arrived with even more parts. But let's break this down. The GT3 cost me $160,000. And the parts that we managed to bring into the USA cost me £15,000, which is around $18,000, bringing the total build cost so far to $178,000. And a similar spec GT3 in the USA costs around $278,000. So we're well in the green. And mine's got a clean title. Although when you check it out on Car Vertical, it does still show up that it's been in an accident. But there's really no avoiding that. But even though we're still way in the green, there could be even more damage. So to break it down a bit more, I'm going to take the door off just so we can inspect that A-pillar damage and the damage on the side skirt as well, as we don't fully know how bad it is. Taking the door off is pretty easy. There's a couple of electrical connectors inside, 1 bolt for the check strap and 2 bolts on the hinges. Then we can lift it off to reveal this nasty crease in the side skirt here, which got me a little worried. If this damage has gone through to the inner structure, then it's likely we have some serious structural damage. So we've really got to investigate further on this. So luckily, I bought this with me from the UK, from Porsche Silverstone. I don't think we're going to use this whole thing, but we have sections of it that we can use to fix this with. And that was only £201, which seems random, being that the tub was like £2,700, but it should help us do this job as well. So to see if there's any damage to the actual structure underneath the side skirt, I need to start taking off the panel here, so then we can inspect inside. And again, this thing is riveted on, even though some parts of the panel are steel, but actually there are some spot welds as well. In the sections where we couldn't get the drill, we used the belt sander just to sand down the top of the rivets, and then we can break them free with this hammer and chisel sort of tool.
Oh. Yay! Victory.
Yes. And there is the inner structure, and most importantly, there's no damage to it, which is good. This is the structural part right at the bottom. You can see the strengthening is really thick, but all of the damage is literally caused to the outer skin, which is good news. There's no structural damage as such. So in order to save a lot of money here and a lot of time, instead of replacing that full side skirt, which is part of the quarter panel, Jack's going to attach this pulling tool, and we're going to apply a lot of heat whilst trying to pull it straight. Because this part's aluminium, we have to be really careful the way we pull it, because it could just snap, which means we'd have to buy a full new one. So this part takes a lot of patience and heat. Jack has pretty much got this side skirt back into the position where it's supposed to be. Like, this is looking nice and smooth how it's meant to be, and this is the shape it's supposed to be. And now this, look at that, it's sensational stuff. It goes right in there. That just needs to be riveted in, welded and bonded as well, and then this will all be cleaned up and it'll be just as good as new. Then it's time to test fit the front tub. So now, more drilling, which is exactly what I wanted to be doing, because we've got... Now the tub is lined up, and onto an extent, we've got to use the old holes that I've already drilled out as a template to drill out on the new tub. Once we've drilled out all of these holes, the tub's got to come off again so we can apply all of the panel bond, and then the rivets finally go in. But it's actually not too bad of a job so far, minus the drilling. So let's get the rest drilled out. This is another vital part of the job. We've got to make sure that this front tub goes in the exact same place that it came out, because even if it's a millimetre out, it will completely throw the alignment off. Remember, there's suspension arms which bolt to the front tub, and also the whole front subframe bolts to it. So moving this out of line can have the car crabbing down the road. But we've done our best to line it up, drill out the holes, and make sure all the rivets slot into those holes. And now we've got to take it off one more time. Hey. As I've mentioned, Porsche will not tell us the procedure of fitting this to the Porsche, but they can tell us everything, including the bond they use to fix it to the car. This is like a 2-part bond, 1 part red, 1 part white, don't know what else is in it, managed to get it on the plane. From what we have taken off, we can see where the panel bond was, which you can see on these bits here. Any part there was rivet, there was panel bond. So we're going to run panel bond all along these edges, and then the rivets are going to squash the new panels together and then hopefully set. I don't know if we've got a setting time on here. It might say, it might not say, but hopefully, I think that's going to do it. But someone will probably let us know in the comments that it's wrong, but let's do it. Vital part number 2. As soon as we apply this panel bond, we think we have a maximum of around 45 minutes setting time, which means the front tub has got to be on with all the rivets in within 45 minutes. And even applying this panel bond takes time. We've got to be so careful to only get it on the parts where each panel are connected to each other. So we've got the full team on it now. We've got to move fast now because it's getting thick. So this is so anti-Porsche right now. They wouldn't even sell us structural parts.
Somebody hold that top piece.
We've got the front tub in place, but there's still no time to waste.
We're gonna run the rivets in it first before we put the bolts tight.
Now we've got to place all the rivets in and then use the rivet gun to punch them in, because if we punch one rivet in first, it might move it around and we won't get any other rivets in. But things are going smoothly so far.
Oh, don't say that. Oh my God, why do you say that?
Jack is on the rivet gun duty, and it looks like me and Freddie are supervising. You can see how the rivet pulls each panel together, which is really going to give it that strong bond that these structural panels need. Again, we're working as fast as we can here, but also trying to be as careful as possible. This is a vital part of the car. And look how neat that is looking. With the new rivets in place and the panel bond oozing beneath them, it almost looks like we're professionals. We've just got to wait for it to set now. But let's not forget the side skirt as well. Now that Jack has pulled the side skirt back to the place it should go, we've got to fit that small structural bit that we had to cut out previously. So we prepped the surface, ready for some weld through primer because parts of it are welded, and then also some structural bond, as some parts are riveted and bonded. Then Jack is guiding in that little structural panel at the front. And in go the rivets. But we can save the welding until later. You've got panel bond on your head.
Turn around. Turn around.
What, red?
No, black.
Turn around.
Black? I didn't even use the black.
That is now in. Apart from there's a few bit of spot welding that we need to do just to tack it all in nicely, and then a little bit more body work. But a productive few days on the GT3. Most of the big body work is done. We've now got the front tub in, and that, I think the next step is starting to get all the suspension and everything back on. But I guess you have to wait till the next video for that. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out. Something's gone through the bottom of the suitcase. Oh no! The carbon brake disc. Please let this be okay.
Like a drug that I just can't deny, giving me the best high.